Another one! Okay, this is easily the wildest August the NHL has had in, since they had the playoffs in them. That one's a bit unfair, you gotta grade on a curve. But it's not just that we're having trades, it's the hugeness of them, and this is a big one. It took until August 23rd, but we finally know where Yaroslav Askarov is gonna play hockey next season. Steve, I don't know who that is. You should. Because this kid is who many are calling the best prospect goalie in hockey. And now, to all the Sharks truthers out there, he's a San Jose Shark. The trade is as follows. The San Jose Sharks receive Yaroslav Askarov, a 2025 third-round pick originally belonging to Colorado, and forward Nolan Burke. The Nashville Predators acquire forward David Edstrom, a 2025 first-round pick, that's from Vegas, and it's conditional, and goaltender Magnus Chrona. Okay, let's break all that down. I don't know if you watched hockey last year, but the San Jose Sharks were pretty bad. There was a while where they weren't that bad, and I started talking about Sharks truther, they're pretty good. This was after they lost the first 10 games of the season or whatever it was. They allowed 10 goals in back-to-back games. Remember that? Yeah. You could see why they would want another goalie. Well, they're rebuilding. They're rebuilding hard. They actually just got the first overall pick just now, Macklin Celebrini. So for a rebuilding team, and a team that is so deep in the rebuild like that, for them to give up futures, they better be getting futures back. They are here. Listen, prospects are often magic beans, and goalies are even more so. They're jumping beans. For right now, if you're signing up for a goalie of the future, this is the kid. So the Sharks gave up futures. In a way, they bought. But this isn't the trade deadline, so you shouldn't look at it that way, buying and selling. It doesn't make sense. It's like the Penguins-Jets deal from yesterday, by the way. That's not a buying and sell deal. It's just two teams trying to make the best of an interesting situation. Now, this Yaroslav Askarov stuff has been kind of percolating ever since the Nashville Predators sent a massive contract extension to UC Saros. In free agency, the Predators also signed Scott Wedgwood, $1.5 million per. Not exactly a guy you want to bury in the minors, unless you're going to carry 3. You could do it. Detroit did it. It was weird. Or you could just do the really simple thing and leave your 22-year-old goalie in the American Hockey League where he probably ought to be. Well, Askarov wasn't down with that. And he seemed to make that pretty obvious, kind of a precarious situation for the Nashville Predators, because he was a guy who the Predators picked 11th overall. Kind of a concerning predicament for the Nashville Predators because they picked him 11th overall in the 2020 NHL draft. 11th is high for a goalie. That very rarely happens anymore. Heck, it's rare you see a goalie go first round at all, let alone 11th. I don't really have a problem with the Predators making that pick at the time. You don't know what the future holds. There's a few options here. Number 1, Askarov turns out to be the goalie of the future. He's better than Saros and you keep him. Great. Number 2, Saros is great, Askarov develops and he's great. They're both like, hey, this is great. And they stay together and then you have 2 great goalies. Great. Number 3, Saros is great. Askarov doesn't want to stick around in the minors and he's still very good though, so you can just trade him for a lot of value. This is why you draft the best player available. The Predators chose option 3, or Askarov did. I guess they both did. I think Yaroslav Askarov would still be a Nashville Predator if they agreed to play him on the Nashville Predators and not the Milwaukee Admirals. Speaking of Milwaukee Admirals, he was remarkably consistent for them. As a 20-year-old and a 21-year-old over the last 2 seasons, he's been their extremely young and effective starter, with the team's best save percentage in both seasons, and in both seasons, that was .911. Playing 48 games in the American League as a rookie, and then 44 last year. He did play 2 games in the NHL last year, and he allowed 2 goals with a .943 save percentage. You could say he was fired up and he did pretty well. This is a good goalie, is what I'm trying to say. Like, this is a smart bet for the Sharks. Now, it does have the potential to work out very interestingly. Dude, the San Jose Sharks got shelled last year. Like, Mackenzie Blackwood did admirably in net for them, just facing a billion pucks every night and stopping most of them and still losing vast majority of the time. So for Yaroslav Askarov, it could be like, all right, so you want to play in the NHL. Here you go. Play lots of games for the San Jose Sharks, who finished last and just acquired Cody Ceci. Barry, why are you talking like that? I don't know. You're right. So is this trade going to make the Sharks good right away? I doubt it. Is it going to make them a competitive playoff team next year? Also doubt it. Are there a bunch of teams in the NHL that would like to be in the position the San Jose Sharks are currently in? Yeah. Look at this from Cam Robinson of EliteProspects.com. They have Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, who was a 5th overall pick, Quentin Musty, Yaroslav Askarov, Sam Dickinson, William Eklund, or was he the 5th overall pick? Maybe they both were. So do the Sharks give up some futures in this deal? Yes, and we'll get to that. Are they particularly high-end futures? There's a prospect who was picked in the first round, but last in the first round. And a first-round pick that could be anywhere. It's unlikely to be particularly high. It could be, but it's very unlikely. Whereas the Sharks have a redonkulous amount of blue chip, like elite prospects. Like the site, you see. What else do they get in the deal? They get a 3rd round pick. Hey, it's a pick. It's a lottery ticket. It's a scratch off if you don't get anything with it. They also get forward Nolan Burke. He's very young, early 20s, played mostly in the ECHL last year. Former Pickering Panther, so I'm cheering for him. Now, the Nashville Predators. What are you up to? I'm going to throw this out there. I don't think they're done in the least. The easiest one here is Magnus Chrona. He played a few games in the NHL last year. Probably shouldn't have, and when he did, he was on the San Jose Sharks. So poor kid didn't have much of a chance. Pretty sure they made him play against McDavid too. Hey, I know you're new here and we're not very good, but like here's a Superman essentially. Hey, you're made of kryptonite, right? You're not. Well, best of luck. Goalie prospect going out, goalie prospect coming in. That makes sense. Then there's poor David Edstrom, who was the 32nd overall pick in 2023. The poor kid is 19 years old. This is already the 2nd time he's been traded in the NHL because the Vegas Golden Knights picked him with the last pick of the 1st round in 2023. They got the honor of doing that because they won the cup. Like, dude, what's the point? When the Vegas Golden Knights draft a guy in the 1st round, like, there's got to be someone at the table who's like, should I even put the name on the jersey? They're not keeping him. Dude, look at this. 2017, Cody Glass, gone. Nick Suzuki, gone. Eric Brandstrom, gone. 2019, Peyton Krebs, gone. 2020, Brandon Brisson, still there. Look at you go. Anyway, where were we? Oh, 2021, Zach Dean, gone. 2023, David Edstrom, gone. And Trevor Connolly, they just picked him 19th overall in June, but give it time. In their entire history, the Vegas Golden Knights have drafted 8 guys in the 1st round, and they've kept 2 of them, meaning they've traded 6 of them. A few of them ended up being pretty good. Do they care? No, they won the Stanley Cup. Oh, but Nick Suzuki, they won the Stanley Cup. He beat them. They won the what aren't you getting? They won! The way that Edstrom went from the Vegas Golden Knights to the San Jose Sharks and now to the Nashville Predators, by the way, he was traded... Poor kid was traded in March. He was traded from the Vegas Golden Knights with a 1st round pick in 2025 to the Sharks for Thomas Hertl, a 3rd round pick in 2025, and a 3rd round pick in 2027. Thank you, Hockey DB. All that to say, he was in the Thomas Hertl trade. That's why the Sharks had him in the first place. Listed at 6'2", 181 pounds. He's a forward. How has he done in Sweden so far? 7 goals, 12 assists for 19 points in 44 games this past season with Frölunda of the... Wait a sec, I don't like them. I'm wearing a Djurgården jersey. It's not a particularly high-scoring league. His team's leading scorer had 43 points in 51 games. Max Freeberg, a 5th-round pick from 2011 by the Ducks. That's just a fun fact. You know what's cruel here? I think there's a way greater than 0% chance he's traded again. Dude, look at what the Nashville Predators are doing. Look at what they've done this summer. Stamkos, big money. Marchessault, big money. A lot of you might have forgotten about this one. Brady Shea, big money. They did pretty well against the Vancouver Canucks, who did pretty well against the Edmonton Oilers, who have done pretty well against everyone else. I think the Preds are trying to win now. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to win now and also building future assets and keeping them for the future. But heading into the trade deadline, there's a chance they trade this poor kid again. This guy might get traded 3 times before he's 20. Then there's the 1st round pick with all these conditions. Oh, jeez. It's Chris, I need an adult, CJ. Oh, good. There he is. San Jose is sending the Vegas 2025 first rounder in this deal, we know, but will have the option to flip it to their own 1st round pick if it falls in the top 10. So if I'm reading this right, so wait, let me make sure I understand this, because this reads like the San Jose Sharks have the option to give up their own 1st round pick if it happens to be less valuable than the Vegas Golden Knights 1st round pick next year. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that's gonna happen. In order for that to happen, the Vegas Golden Knights would have to miss the playoffs and either be worse than the San Jose Sharks or win the lottery or both. Dude, I just don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's going to happen. Vegas might screw around and win the cup again. Who knows? Or miss the playoffs entirely. It depends on who's injured when. But there's another thing given to the Nashville Predators in this deal. I think they're just going to parlay at the trade deadline or like maybe even tomorrow. I don't know. The way this August is going, maybe they do it tomorrow. Look, I'll be honest. I don't think Nashville did awesome here. I really don't. A lot of it depends on what that first round pick turns into, where it lands, how you use it. But to get a 32nd overall pick, a mystery draft pick that's probably going to be like mid-20s, if we're honest, early to mid-20s, and Magnus Chrona, who probably like maxes out at backup, all that as return for arguably the best goalie prospect in hockey, definitely top 3. Ooh, it's not that great. It's okay. I don't even know if it's okay. Like, there's a universe where this parlays, it's funny. Think of it this way. Is it great value for them? No. Like, absolutely not. I don't think it's great value for them at all. But look at it this way. How good is Nashville? How good was Nashville last year? And do you expect them to be better? I think the answer is, yeah, they were pretty good last year, and you expect them to be better this year. Yeah, most people, I think, would think that. Okay, well, here's the thing. Yaroslav Askarov played 2 games for them last year, so losing him doesn't immediately affect how good or bad they are, unless, obviously, they run into really bad goalie injury problems, but, I mean, that can happen to anybody. And now you have these 2 first-round assets that you could use at the trade deadline. But then this little voice in your head says, but you could have just used Yaroslav Askarov. And that little voice has a point on account of I think Yaroslav Askarov is more valuable than like 2 late first-round picks. But because of Askarov's demands, the fact that he wants to play in the NHL now, the fact that if he wanted to, he could just be like, all right, I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to leave and go play somewhere else. That affects things. It makes things complicated. Maybe Nashville made the best of a tough situation, and the best isn't always the best, but it's the best you could do. This is one of those ones that in a few years, I think we might look back and be like, ooh, Nashville did not do great there. But if they win before we get there, we're not going to care. Here, I'll use a Nashville example. Tanner Jeannot going to the Tampa Bay Lightning for all the picks in the world. Is that a good deal for Tampa? No, they got killed on it. You know why we think that? They lost. First round pick for Barclay Goodrow, first round pick for Blake Coleman. Were those good deals at the time? No! They won back-to-back cups. No one cared. No one cared. Who did those picks even turn into? Who cares? Not a single Tampa fan, I can tell you that. And cherry on top for San Jose Sharks fans, Yaroslav Askarov signed a 2-year contract extension today at $2 million per, and that doesn't kick in until next year. So you have a dirt cheap goalie who could be pretty good for you over the next 3 years. Like, unreal price. How big of a factor is that going to be for San Jose? I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure they're going to be a cap team exactly over the next 3 years, but I mean, what's wrong with having cap space? You can always use it for something, whether it's to contend or accrue assets. Tidy from San Jose. I'm not totally sure about the Nashville Predators. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Hey, a lot of people have been asking, Steve, where's your Patrick Laine video? I didn't make one. I spent 3 days in a recording booth making an audiobook and lost my voice and I was sick and everything. But here's the great thing. SDPN, we're a network, right? We got lots of friends. So the Laine video was made by Adam Wilde and Chris Johnston. And Drew, can we link to that? Can we? There it is. You can watch it.